it's Johnathan Beebe from Beebe Outdoors. We're here at the FTF tournament. We're actually halfway to where we're going to shoot. This is a tournament for the Goshen Police Department. Just a bow fishing tournament. It is all legal rough fish count. It goes into, this is a Indiana and Michigan water tournament, so it's kind of cool being able to go back and shoot our home water. It's total weight, so it doesn't matter what we really shoot, but gotta have it weigh a bunch. So shooting this tournament, we've got Alex, Jake, we got Nick in the back. There's a couple different side pots for this one. There is a big fish, little gar, big goldfish. And I think that's about it. Is there any more for that? Little carp, there's a little carp one. We got a chance for the little fish stuff. But where we're going, there is a lot of fish. There's two different places that we picked out that actually had a lot of fish in it, but one's an extra hour drive. So you weigh up the options of, you know, maybe we might shoot fish over there. We might shoot more fish over there, but we're also losing 2 hours of shooting time because of this. So we went to the closer place with a lot of fish. We ended up having 3 different boats out the last 2 nights, scouting and running water, and we feel that this is the best place to go. All right, just got back from the FTF tournament down in Goshen, Indiana that James Pearson put on. That is a total weight tournament, which had, I think, 50 teams register. So being total weight and with the conditions we had, we just got rained down a bunch. All the waterways are up, the rivers are up. So it kind of narrowed down where we were going to shoot pretty well. But we basically only had 2 locations. The first location was about 3 hours away. The second location was about 4 hours away. The 4 hours away definitely had fish. We knew the fish were going to be there, but we knew a couple other teams were going to go there, and we knew that a whole bunch of people fun shooting is going to go there. So we ended up going over to the second location, which is a little bit closer. Not as many fish, but still enough fish to probably place. 2 Michigan teams won that. They ended up going to that 4-hour location. So congrats to them. They end up putting in 2,400 pounds and 1,500 pounds right next to each other, along with 3-4 other boats and a couple other airboats and stuff like that. So there was definitely a pile of fish in there. So congrats Shane and congrats Pepper for that, for taking first and second. With the conditions we had, it was a little bit of an easterly wind. We had to play with the wind just a little bit, but the fish were definitely still there. We started off the night by shooting a whole bunch of gar. We filled basically almost a 55-gallon drum full of gar. And after that, we switched locations from the first spot to the second launch. The first launch didn't have nearly as many carp as it did the day before, but we still got a couple in. Went to the second launch, came up, went to a spot right off the bat, and I mean, I'm not exaggerating this. I've seen a lot of gar in my lifetime. It's the biggest gar I've ever seen in my life. Later on in the night, we ended up shooting a really nice gar, and that one measured out at 45 7/8, which is a really nice gar for the state of Michigan. I still haven't shot one past 43. But the gar that I shot right off the bat was easily probably 50 plus. I mean, it was a giant gar. So that one's definitely going to haunt me. But we end up going through there, and later on throughout the night, being a 3-hour drive, it ended at 7 o'clock. We definitely had to be on the road by 4. So where we were at, we were end up shooting, and it got into the point where it was about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and then the buffs started to come in to spawn. And when that started to happen and they started hitting the shallows, we started stacking buffs one right after another. And me being... I've had some experience with buffs. I can tell you what, buffs are a blast. I mean, I love my commons, but when you shoot a buff and it just explodes on the top of the water, that's a riot. So we end up running through and end up running into buffs. Yeah, so we end up getting, I mean, that would give us about 6 hours of shooting time. So that's 6 hours shooting time. We end up filling up a 110. Like I said, not as many fish as what we seen there the day before, but hey, it was enough to do pretty good. As it looks right now, I ended up looking at the results. It looked like we got 7th out of 50, so I ain't really complaining too much, but definitely could have gotten better. That is the recap of the FTF tournament. And on to the next one. Hopefully we can have the BAM St. Joe and keep going. So keep watching.